Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today, what I have for you guys in this GTA Online video is all of the largest and most major changes in this week's weekly update. This is going to be your weekly update guide for the first update in 2025 here for GTA 5. And we have some pretty cool stuff this week. The bonuses aren't really anything special. In fact, they're pretty bad, and if you watched my video yesterday, you probably heard about that, but that's not really the focus of today's video. We do have some awesome rare and removed vehicles. To note, one of them, of course, you can see behind me right now, it is this vehicle right here. I will showcase to you guys in this video which car this is, where you can get it, how much it costs. We'll also talk about the performance and customization of other rare and removed cars that are featured back here for a limited time this week. We also have to talk about the discounts, the Salvage Ard robberies, weekly challenge. There are some decent money-making opportunities in terms of small things you could do, just the bonuses aren't really that great. So we'll get into everything here. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in, and let's get started. So first things first, let's talk about some couple announcements for the week. Obviously, the most important one and probably the most obvious is snow is gone. And, you know, we had it for the past 2 weeks. It is now gone, ladies and gentlemen. Thinking of it, too, that was probably the last time we're ever going to see snow in GTA Online before GTA 6. Granted, that game doesn't get delayed past its, you know, fall 2025 release timeline. If it's coming out this year, then that game will be out before we get snow back in GTA Online over the winter, so that's kind of crazy. Not only that, but the trapdoor adversary mode is returning, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit later on when we talk about the bonuses, because that returning limited time game mode also has some money bonuses applied to it. Your LS Car Meet test drive vehicles for the week are where I think some of the really cool opportunities for this week shine. One of them you'll see, we'll talk about it. You'll probably see it in the back right, and you're probably wondering what the heck is that thing. But first, let's start off probably with the most prized one, the Grotti Cheetah. This is obviously an OG supercar here in this game. It has pretty excellent acceleration, especially when the game released. It's got a competitive top speed. It's got overall really good performance, but this car is insanely vulnerable to lots of damage, even just from crashing into cars, so you have to apply the armor upgrades. The design, though, of course, is inspired by the Ferrari Enzo, and you get some really cool elements from various other supercars as well to kind of craft its identity, but the main one I would say probably is the Enzo. Really cool car. If you want to pick it up this week, it's rare removed and it's featured back. You can get it for $650,000 this week. Next, this is the Grotti GT500. This is a sports classic. It stands out to me, at least, with the exceptional handling it has. I think the design of this car is really stylish as well. I don't know about you guys, but I'd honestly say it's kind of an ideal vehicle for a beginner player in this game that wants responsive as well as an elegant driving experience in a vehicle. It's not going to lead the pack in terms of acceleration and top speed, obviously, but the comfort and control that you get on this car, whether it's on the street or even if you take it off-road, it's kind of crazy how good it performs. This is honestly a favorite choice, in my opinion. I think there is value in buying this car. The only thing that's not beginner-friendly is the price, $785,000. Of course, you can get a lot better vehicles for the price, but it's still just, speaking of the vehicle itself, speaking of the stats and performance in a vacuum, it's a very good car. And then we have the BF Bifta. This is crazy. This is a dune buggy, but it's got a very deceptive appearance. You get a fast top speed. You can go 108 miles an hour with this thing. Solid acceleration, really good for off-road terrain. It's got a quirky look. Obviously, it looks like a bug, something out of like a Disney or a Pixar movie. You're going to struggle with stability on bumpy landscapes. You got poor braking and poor handling on the road, but it's just fun to drive. You can kind of like full send this thing around. This is almost like a rally buggy, not just necessarily a dune buggy. It's a rally buggy is what I would call this thing. And if you do want to pick it up, rare removed, you can get it for $75,000. Just spend the $75K and have fun with this car. That's what video games are all about. Just enjoy the content that you're putting time into being able to buy. At Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport and Car Dealership, we kind of have the same story at the LS Car Meet. More rare and removed vehicles for you guys to enjoy this week. So let's start off here. Let's actually go right to left. So starting off, we have the Pegassi Vaca. This is, of course, a super well-rounded Lamborghini. You get combined here fast acceleration with very precise handling. I'd say it's ideal for maneuvering through the traffic as well as just like taking tight corners, you know, just all sorts of turns in the actual city of Los Santos. You get a little bit of wheel spin with this car, and the durability and the stylish design, I think, make it a very underrated choice for players who appreciate speed with control in their car. And obviously the price point is where the value comes in. You can get this car for $240,000. It packs a punch for that price point, that's for sure. Next, moving on, this is the Ennis Helion. Very robust performance with this vehicle. You get an enjoyable driving experience both on-road as well as off-road, because when you take it off-road, You have this incredible ability to tackle all types of steep terrain. You can just full send up Mount Chiliad. It's really fun to drive and take on adventures and just drives off-road. It's not a top off-roader in the game, and I would say the only reason for that is just because you don't have a ton of ground clearance. As you can see, it's pretty low to the ground, but it still looks awesome. I like this vehicle a lot. You get pretty extensive customization options, and bulletproof tires and window plates are just, I would say, necessary. Bulletproof tires for sure, because big tires, exposed, things like that. You can add window plates to this car, so you can get a little bit of armor, which is nice, added protection right there. It's just a versatile choice for GTA Online's varied activities. You got to pick it up this week, and if you do want to buy it, it's going to cost you $853,240. Moving on, this is the Ubermax Zion Classic. It's based on that first generation BMW M6. For that reason alone, I'd recommend you pick it up. You got pretty good top speed and acceleration for like the style and the year this car released, and honestly the handling is going to be pretty controllable. You're not really prone to oversteer with this car as much as you are with something like the Sentinel Classic, for example. It's stable around turns and corners and even uneven surfaces if you take it off-road. Drifting capabilities are going to be limited here. You also have like a unique springiness with the suspension, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know if it comes from an advanced handling flag or not, but it gives this car a distinct driving dynamic, and overall I think it does add to the experience as well. If you want to buy this car, it's going to run you $812,000. Now moving on, we have the Dubachi Exemplar to talk about. This car excels in the coupes class. It's a front-engine, rear-wheel drive car, but it's got superior handling and great balance for like an older vehicle that released in this game. It's got some of the best handling out of all four-door sedans, so that's pretty nice. Rest assured, it's a good vehicle. It outperforms some of its rivals in cornering and control, and it is a favorite among performance enthusiasts. I would say if you go back in GTA Online on YouTube and search up videos about this vehicle itself, you'll find people giving this vehicle a lot of praise. So it's got good history, things like that, good value, and you can get it for $205,000. Yet another purchase just like the Vaca I feel like you should make, because it's cheap enough and you get a lot of value out of the car. It's not all about just going for something super cheap or something super incredible with performance, right? We got to talk about value, and this car has it. Then we'll move on. This is the Classy Tulip. It's inspired by that 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu. You get really good and impressive speed and handling, but you need to be very careful driving because this car has a ton of wheel spin and a big tendency to oversteer. Upgrades, of course, are going to enhance the performance of this car. Suspension is going to help with traction and handling a little bit, but they're not going to completely tame like the unpredictability and the challenging dynamic you have when you actually are driving this car. This is a muscle car that's going to shine in the hands of an expert driver. But if you're someone like me who's not very good at driving, well, this may not be your favorite vehicle. Nonetheless, great muscle car. You can buy it for $736,240 this week. All of these, I would say, are very, very affordable, and they are worth it at the end of the day. And so the moment I'm sure many of you have been waiting for, the bonuses. We really don't have much this week. But it's not all bad news. There are some decent ways to make money, albeit they're extremely limited in terms of how much you can make and the amount of times you could actually achieve these extra money bonuses. But let's talk about one if you don't have any sort of business. Double money in RP on the Trapdoor Adversary mode. Of course, like I said at the beginning of this video, this returns for limited time this week, so you could play this, get some double money and double RP. If you're brand new to the game, maybe it's worth trying this out. That being said, the other money opportunities for this week are not that impressive, but I guess depending on how much money you're willing to spend IRL, you can actually make them kind of impressive here. One of them being triple money and triple RP for all associates and bodyguards who are helping their CEO or, VIP boss on their FIB file finales. You're going to be getting triple money and triple RP for that, and that stacked with the triple money on the bonus objectives make it pretty good for helping other players complete their file finales this week. So if you are grinding with a group of friends, I think even if you're not actually playing this as like the main, if you're the boss playing this, you can actually still make decent money if you combine it with the GTA Plus bonus that's ending in like another week, I believe. But obviously I wouldn't say go out of your way to buy GTA Plus just for that. I'm just saying if you want to stack it, you can turn this triple money and triple RP opportunity as an associate and bodyguard completing these file finales and make it decent. In addition to that, if you complete an FIB file finale as a boss, you're just running this yourself and doing it solo even, you will receive $200,000 added to your account within 72 hours. So just a $200,000 bonus. Say if you run that with the high priority file and that's all you do this week, well, that's $500,000 right there for a half hour of time, or 25 minutes even. And your weekly challenge for this week to make even more money, if you earn $100,000 as a bodyguard or an associate in any line of work, not just with the FIB file finales, or FIB files in general, but any line of work, you'll receive $100,000 as an additional bonus. So earn 100K to get a 100K bonus on top of that. And of course, if you're farming the triple money and triple money opportunity for the FIB file finales as an associate or bodyguard, you'll hit that 100K really fast and get even more money on top with that extra 100K. So this is not a good weekly update for money making at all, because there's no like insane money bonuses or even anything with other businesses that are good, but you could salvage it in some ways just with these slight money bonus opportunities for some extra cash injections. And if you're smart with running this content and you know how to like kind of exploit the game right now to make it so that you can make a lot of money as an associate or a bodyguard, it's definitely possible. It's just not really that great, and if you're a solo player, of course, those bonuses aren't even going to apply to you anyway. As for our discounts, we actually have some really good ones this week, the ones that are available at least, because the only problem with this weekly update and the discounts we have is we just don't have many, but the ones that we have, I'd say, are really good. Starting off, of course, the Salvage helicopter released with the heist update. You can get it for $1.556 million or $1.17 million with the trade price. This heli's 40% off this week. It is an insanely good heli. You get the same speed as the Buzzard. It's a little bit difficult to maneuver, but it has the best offensive features in the game. You get a high fire rate explosive cannon that shoots rounds at 1500 RPMs. It's insane. It's like the damage output on the missiles or the explosive cannon on this heli are comparable to the homing launcher, except coming at 1500 rounds a minute, which is insane. That being said, of course, it's a Pegasus vehicle, and so that's going to limit the utility, but just in terms of the features you get, yeah, I'd say it's a top 5 heli in the game for sure. Now, next, we also have the half track. This is going to be 30% off for this weekly update as well. The half track is actually very good. When you put armor upgrades on this, you could tank up to 27 homing missiles, 9 RPGs or 9 sticky bombs, or 5 tank cannon rounds. You can get it for $1.578 million this week. This is a very good vehicle just because of the fact, even though, so first of all, you can't shoot the back of it because there's no window, so you can't get shot out of the rear. The only way to shoot someone is actually out of the side windows because the front is entirely bulletproof. I don't know if it's just a glitch or the way Rockstar designed it. You can't shoot anyone out of the front of the half track either. You have to shoot them through the small side left or right windows on the half track. So not only is it incredibly armored, it's incredibly weaponized as well with dual MGs, quad auto cannons. You can install all the proximity mines. You could tow a trailer and an AA trailer on the back of this thing. But you also just can't get shot out of it. So honestly, very, like, it's a subtly good vehicle. It's slept on. It's underrated, I would say. High-end apartments are also going to be 30% off for this weekly update. So anything with a 10-car garage, stilt apartments, of course, the penthouses, things like that. Not all apartments. It's just high-end apartments, because if we scroll down, you can see some other ones that aren't on discount. But any high-end apartment is going to be 30% off. So pick those up if you need more garage space and more properties. The Overflod Zeno, which released with the agency and the contract DLC, is on sale for 30% off. You can get it for $1.974 million. In terms of all the vehicle discounts this week, this is probably the worst one. It's not a bad vehicle. I actually really like it. It's got good customization, cool paint job options if you want to get like funky with the paint jobs and colorways, but the performance isn't exceptional, and it is a $2 million car even with the discount, so it is expensive. And then we also have 30% off the Grati Italy GTO on sale for 30% off, $1.375 million. This is an amazing sports car, tied for #1 best sports car in the game with the Grati Italy RSX, in my opinion. Both of them have very similar acceleration and handling characteristics and top speed, but I would say the RSX is like a little bit more slidey than the GTO. So if you want something with just slightly lower top speed, that's the GTO. I think it's by like 1 mile per hour or something. And then of course, just better handling. The GTO, which is the one on discount this week, is definitely the way to go. At the Diamond Casino and Resort, your Lucky Wheel podium vehicle for the week is the Pfister Growler. And this is kind of like a slept-on Pfister vehicle, I would honestly go on to say, just because, you know, obviously the OG Pfister Comet, the Comet SR, even the Comet S2 and the Comet S2 Cabrio get more attention than the Growler, because this is just based off of like the Cayman or the Boxster, right? I forget which one off the top of my head. I'll need to check my notes. But the Pfister Growler is a really good performing vehicle in GTA Online. Top speed isn't absolutely incredible, but the handling and just the way this car acts on the road, especially while you're full sending it around the track or just cruising through the city, it's a responsive vehicle, it's fun to drive, and if you come up with some cool paint job customization options, like, you can make this vehicle look awesome. I like the one that I have. I'll try and showcase a screenshot. It looks pretty cool. Nonetheless, let's go spin the lucky wheel, see if we can unlock it this week. We already have that one on our account, but as you know, if it's faux free, it's faux me, baby. Let's see. Spin it up, and let's see if we can win this vehicle. I can already tell we're not going to, but are we going to get a mystery item? Oh yeah. Let's see what we get. Blue Tactical Blausen. At the LS car meet, your prize ride for the week is the Declassy Mamba, and you can win this vehicle by placing top 5 in LS car meet series races for 3 consecutive days in a row. So even if you don't want to get started on trying to unlock this car right away this week, say for example starting today or tomorrow, you could do it, I guess, as late as Tuesday, because you can get it done for Tuesday, Wednesday, and next Thursday, obviously, before the weekly event changes into the next one. The Declassy Mamba is definitely not top of its class at all, but I honestly think it's a good vehicle. Just like the Fister Growler, we will talk about it more in my free vehicles guide coming out Saturday, so stay tuned for that. We'll put it on the track, we'll test out its customization, performance, get a time for the lap that it has, things like that. Here at the Salvage Ard this week, we have our 3 new Salvage Ard robberies. Of course, these are available all the way through January the 8th. Let's start off on the left here. Your standard range vehicle for the week is the BF Weevil. You could steal this as part of the Duggan robbery and sell it for 248 grand. The Hijack Rustin is going to be your mid-range vehicle featured in the Podium robbery that you could sell for 344,000, and your max sell value top range vehicle Fister Neon coming in at $383,000 you can make off this car. Of course, you could steal this as part of the McToney robbery this week. None of these are claimable, though. And now for this week's selection at the gun van, we're going to talk about this. If you guys are watching on January the 2nd, on Thursday, you can find the gun van located here in San Andreas and Magellan Avenue, basically just southeast of the Santa Monica Pier or Vespucci Beach Pier, and you can find it right here on the map in between all these little apartments. And when it comes to actual gun van selection, we do have the tactical SMG here, the compact EMP launcher, the heavy rifle, the minigun, the pump shotgun, as well as the battle axe. Now, the tactical SMG is going to be 30% off for all GTA Plus members. We also have the Strickler rifle for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S players only. That one should be free if you have GTA Plus, and then if you don't, I guess you have to buy it, I would assume. I don't know if it's actually released. I'm on PC, so I can't actually see if it's listed here for everyone this week or if it's just GTA Plus, but that's listed here on the notes from Rockstar. And then the heavy rifle is also the weapon that's going to be 50% off for all players this week. The tactical SMG is worth picking up, as of course with the heavy rifle. Everything here, honestly, is worth picking up, honestly. And with all that said, those are all of the most major changes for this week here in GTA Online. We talked about the bonuses, how you can utilize them to make some more money. We talked about the rare and removed vehicles, both at Simeon's as well as the LS car meet. Talked about how you could use those cars to your advantage, as well as, you know, the performance customization, all of that. Basically, all of the most major changes that you guys need to know about with some gameplay now that the weekly update is out. Of course, the snow is gone, things like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv. If you want to see some daily GTA Online live streams, because I do not live stream on YouTube. So if you want to see some live streams and some fun content outside of the actual videos that I post every single day, head on over to Twitch. With that being said, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.